on me. I can't see you drown. 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 Whoa. Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die, but your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. A perfect storm, a beautiful catastrophe. It's a toxic addiction. You're a guilty affliction. Yeah. I can't breathe. I need to get some air, but it's a toxic addiction. You're a guilty affliction. Yeah. You can't breathe and you just need some air. Yeah. Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die, but your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. A perfect storm, a beautiful catastrophe. Maybe mom and dad were right when they told me this wouldn't be nothing. Maybe I should take their advice, go get a life, or maybe get a job or something. Pack it up and head back home, tell everybody I was bluffing. Or maybe I'll just get out my head and focus on what I know's coming. Yeah. 'Cause I can't fall asleep at night without seeing my dreams. Delusion and reality, I'm somewhere in between. These voices.
A rematch from the Regional Championship on the gridiron returns tonight in the birthplace of football, but it's about to go down on the hardwood, where Kirtland looks to ride momentum from their double overtime win in the semifinals against a Dalton squad, making their second Elite Eight trip over the last 3 years. It's live and free boys tournament basketball for a spot in the state Final Four. Pre-game coverage and your opening tip-off fall on the way. Next. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
It's the Arrow Accounting pregame show. Make sure that you message the boss lady of taxes in Dalton, Miss Kara Barnes, for all of your needs. A state Final Four berth awaits the winners of tonight's game, a football rivalry about to meet on the hardwood here at the historic Canton Fieldhouse. I am Brian Skoronsky. I am joined by the great Travis Berardi and Canton Memorial, the site for Kirtland and Dalton, two familiar foes on the gridiron. What better place for this game to go down than this one?
Absolutely, and kind of two Cinderella stories, if you could say. Unranked in our broadcast because they're outside the top 25 according to Max Preps for the regional round. That means these are two teams that might not have been in this round before we have started, but hey, that's why you play the game here in March. Anything is possible, and these two teams, yeah, don't let the records deceive you, though, as we will show you in the pregame that these teams are very good.
For Kirtland, this is their first trip to regionals in 26 years. They need a double overtime to get past Smithville, who beat Dalton twice during the regular season, mind you. So looking to add actually a third WCAL squad to their hit list during tournament play.
Yeah, that was an instant classic here a couple nights ago against Smithville. They were trailing for almost the whole game. Overtime, double overtime, and finally pulled away in that second overtime to win 81-72. This is a team that 8 times this year have scored more than 70 points. So this is a squad that can put up points just like they did on the football field when they knocked out Dalton in the regional semifinal. Or the regional championship, yeah, because then they played Northmore, knocked them off after that. But this is a team that, you know, sometimes that football run can translate over to the basketball side of things too, and that's what's helped out. But they have some players on this squad, as you'll see here in our player spotlight.
Yeah, Vince has had a huge season, a big second half in the overtime sessions as well in the regional semifinals. He's just an all-around offensive weapon, nearly 3 steals per night as well, and just talking to one of his former classmates over here, he's that dude for this team. Everyone kind of looks to this young gentleman to kind of stir up things when it's not going so well. So he's the offensive juggernaut weapon, a member of the 1,000-point club.
Yeah, a member of the 1,000-point club, but this is also a balanced squad, too. We were looking at some of the stats, some of the analytical stats, and everybody's right there, 4 or 5 points. I don't know which type of stat it is, but multiple guys can score. He wasn't even a leading scorer in the semifinal victory. They had somebody throw up 31. They had a couple others at 18, 17 points. So he is one of the main cogs that facilitates and scores, but there are many guys that can contribute to this Hornets squad.
And watching him in the pregame, he's got great lift on his jump shot, so you don't anticipate that that's going to be any type of a problem for him trying to shoot over the top of some of these lanky, rangy Dalton defenders. And believe me, they've got several of them, as you're about to find out as we dive inside of their team spotlight. A squad started the season a little rocky, man, coming off of that football hangover where you lose to Kirtland. You get that late start, of course, on the basketball hardwood. 2-4 out of the gates. Then they lost 5 of 6 during a stretch in January, but the Dogs, they're getting it together right now when it matters most. 6 straight wins, looking for 7 in a row, including a 22-point victory to get here in the Sweet 16.
10 losses. Look at that mental stat. 8 of the 10 losses are to regional teams. They lost in that losing streak, back-to-back losses to Hillsdale, played in a regional semifinal. They lost twice to Smithville, who lost to this Kirtland team. They lost twice to Norwayne, who lost to Lutheran East on this floor, and they lost to Cornerstone Christian, playing in a regional championship. So Also Mogador, I believe, who played in a regional. So those are the 8 teams they played. So don't let the record deceive you, like I said in the open, because they played very good squads, and all you have to do is take what you learned from those games, get hot at the right time, and that is exactly what they're doing. And also their second regional final in the last 3 years. We had it live and free in the regional championship. They actually gave Richmond Heights a battle for a half before Richmond Heights did what Richmond Heights has done to most teams in the state over the last 4 years. But this is a team. They're back here, they're ready, and they're ready to get revenge from that regional championship loss in football.
Yeah, they've got 7 seniors on the roster too, so a few of them got minutes during that Richmond Heights game, including this dude right here. How about a first-team all-district performer in Brady Hignite? Leads the team 19 points per game, shoots 30% from 3, but my favorite stat about him is that he's a guard. He's predominantly on the perimeter, and this is a kid that's got 220 rebounds overall in his senior campaign. Pretty impressive stuff.
Don't you love it when a forward guard goes inside, especially in the WCAL? We saw Lowen Ferguson, the freshman. He's short. He don't matter. He goes in there and gets rebounds. This guard play now, it's not just a guard. You have to have it more of a guard/forward. That's why I have him down as a forward, because you have to have 5 guys now that go in and are fearless, and he is one of the most fearless players in the WCAL.
And as you talked about, really challenging themselves with their schedule. Both teams really have when you look at Kirtland from top to bottom too, and that's something that their head coach really talked about in a couple newspaper articles that I read, is outside of their conference, they schedule some gems of some opponents. So it doesn't matter if you suffer those losses during the regular season. Those are called learning moments.
Absolutely.
To the good quality staffs that know that that's what it takes to be prepared when you start getting into places like Canton Memorial, Sweet 16s, Elite 8s, and chances to punch your ticket into the state Final Four, a place that the Hornets have never been, but they've been buzzing this time of year right now and looking to change the narrative and become that team to get it done right now. We'll take a commercial timeout. We'll be back. We'll have your starting lineups and opening tip-off from Canton all on the way, live and free. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Back here in Canton for your pregame show presented by Arrow Accounting. It is just about time for a tip-off in the Elite 8 in the newly formed Division 6. One of these teams will break through and get into the state Final Four. Not exactly punching your ticket to Dayton like it's been the last few years, but
we were just
still
talking about this
special.
with Joshua McWilliams of the Daily Record. Said, hey, they get to go to state. I'm like, is it really state? I mean, yeah, it's a neutral site, but still, a Final Four. You say the Final Four, that's just as good.
Jump into our keys to victory now. We'll begin with the Kirtland Hornets. I feel like you just got to play physical. Do a little bit of bully ball early on. You're looking across the board at some of these weapons that they have on the floor. They've got big chiseled triceps, broad shoulders, half of the roster comprised of football players. I know Dalton, that's the same case. However, you've been the team that's got 7 state championships. That's your pedigree. Come out here, play physical early on.
Absolutely, and mine, no hiccups. This is a balanced Dalton squad. Multiple guys can score. They have 3 first-team all-district players on the squad. We'll talk about the other 2 out of our player spotlight here in a little bit, but no defensive hiccups, no lapses, because if you give up a lapse, you're probably going to give up a 3 or a big bucket.
And on the other side for the Dogs to bark their way into the Final Four, find some early momentum. If you can seize control of this game mentally, because none of these Hornets, they don't know what it's like to play in this game.
Right,
Guess what?
right, yeah.
A lot of your guys do. Plenty of the seniors now, they were a part of that team. So if you can come out here, knock down some shots, take an early lead, I really do favor the Bulldogs to march their way into the Final Four.
And mine, it's the opposite of Kirtland. They haven't been here since '91. Dalton was here 2 seasons ago. I believe they played JFK last year in this regional semifinal as well. So they've been here. Use that experience. Also, use the football experience. Use that momentum. You want to get payback against this team that knocked you out of a regional championship in football, that kept you from the Final Four. Get payback here. Use that experience. Play your game.
Those keys to victory brought to you by Arrow Accounting. As Kirtland having their reserves called over the loudspeaker. Starters still waiting for their opportunity to have their name called in one of the most iconic places for basketball in the entire state of Ohio. The winningest program in the state of Ohio plays their games right here, the Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. It feels like a throwback in time. Every time you step in here, it's perfect for high school tournament action.
Oh, it's like Hoosiers. It's the Ohio version of Hoosiers, this court right here. It's one of the best atmospheres. You see a ton of great games. I mean, you remember the COVID year, Lucas, who we cover, played a great game against a McDonald's squad, one of the leading scorers in the state, held them off at the buzzer. Seen multiple games down here. We've seen great teams like Richmond Heights run through the tournament down here. So this is an iconic venue, but you know when you're here for the tournament, you've made it.
And here are the starters. Kirtland's going to go with Aiden Hurd, Ben DeFranco, Will Burt, Vince Carriero, and Lucas Renfro, who has really been coming into his own since the tournament started. Talking to another media member, said that he was about 12, 13 points per game during the regular season. That number has jumped up to almost 16 because he just had a coming out party, a career high 31 points on 12 of 15 shooting in the victory against Smithville. That's big time. That's what you want to see from some of your veterans, even though this is his first year at the varsity ranks. Transferring over here, and he's really made a huge impact. So look for that gentleman, number 21, to be that nice second running mate to Carriero here tonight.
Yeah, you need, anytime you get this deep into the tournament, you need multiple scorers to open things up, because you play really good defenses as well, and they're able to key up on that. So the more scores you have, the harder it is to double, to box and one, do things like that.
And you mentioned that there are 3 first-team all-district performers playing for these Dalton Bulldogs here tonight. We already showed you one. Here are the other 2, the dynamic duo, Heatwool and then Coy Wanger. Great averages when it comes to scoring, so they've got 3 on this Bulldog team that are in double figures, and then they're rebounding. Heatwool, he's another one of those kids that he really plays over his size out on the floor, over 8 rebounds per game. And just Coy Wanger, he's got a basketball pedigree. He comes from a family of hoopers, so you know that this kid, he can go out and get his on any given night.
Yeah, I mean, the balance that Dalton has, they finished 4th in the WCAL because the WCAL was that good. All 4 of those teams made it to regionals.
Awesome.
All 4 teams had multiple scorers. And these 2, they have experience. We talked about them when they were just sophomores playing against Richmond Heights, as well as the Hignites. And now, they get a chance to get back here, and, now that some of those big names have dropped to Division 5, it's got a different feel for Dalton this time around. We've seen them here.
Our scoreboard tonight brought to you by Santmyer Company, Smart Fuel Solutions, and exceptional service always, along with Weaver Contractors. Appreciate both of them jumping on board, helping you watch live and free hoops here tonight. There is the aforementioned Coy Wanger along with Matthew Heatwool, the first 2 players up off the bench. Carter Hignite, just a sophomore, but this dude can light the fuse. Brady Hignite as well, the senior. He's grown, man, 6'3" now in his final campaign. Down in the Bulldog uniform, they'll be joined by Gabe Clark, the 5'10" senior out there here tonight. Woo! What I love about this matchup, there's a lot of veterans on each side. There's a lot of football players on each side that have been enjoying consistent foundations of winning. It's a bit of a different story for the Bulldogs. They've got the tradition rolling right now for basketball. So for Kirtland, they're looking to start something new. Now that there are 7 divisions, it opens things up like a team for the Hornets to be able to get out of that tough Cleveland area. And here they are, 1 win away from their first ever state Final Four.
And I mean, you look at some of these teams that have football runs. I see a Marion local squad that was ranked #1 in their division. It just, these athletes just get so much better around here in small school basketball in the state of Ohio. They can excel at 2, 3 sports. And Kirtland excelling on the tip as we're underway.
Yeah, DeFranco, 6'4", the junior with the back tap. Here's Carriero straight to Rack City, and he'll lay it up and in for an early Kirtland lead.
He made that look too easy. You can't let him get hot early on. It'll cause problems for this Dalton team.
Yeah, I see him hiking up the shorts here on defense. He's got those quads flaring out, looking to set down, play some quality defense. They'll have to against this rangy Dalton squad that we were just talking about. Got a lot of different dudes that can really hurt you, as this 3 airmail tipped around by Hignite and collected by Burt.
Maybe a little jitters, though, off of that. Had the open 3. Had time, but rushed it a bit.
Step back jumper. Renfro misses a little bit short here. Leads to the leak out. Carter Hignite into the lane, and the block shot. DeFranco coming from behind and pops the pinata out of the sky. Pow!
And did you see the patience he had there? He didn't jump early. He let that ball get up in the air, and then he swatted it out.
Hignite, a little crease. Oh, how about that fake? But he blew it inside at the 10. Double team forced up by Heatwell. Another chance, and now a whistle comes in a bit late. It'll put Matthew at the free throw line.
Remember I said about jitters? That was a beautiful spin by Hignite, but maybe a little too open on it, overshot, but the effort of Dalton gives him a chance to get on the board.
Heatwell, this is not a strong suit, 45% from the line. The next will be his 59th attempt of the season, and he's made now 27 of those. But Dalton on the board, and I think psychologically sometimes just getting that goose egg eliminated.
Yes, getting that first shot to go.
It matters.
Yes, it does. And these are 2 teams, I mean, Kirtland, they felt it early on against Smithville, but once they got comfortable, once they got settled in, they were able to come back and force not 1 but 2 overtimes and then pull away.
The size on the interior here, DeFranco giving him some fits as he went up and over the top of the defense. 3rd-story rebound over the top of Heatwell, and he's got a trip to the free throw line on the way.
But what he was able to do was he did not go through the back of the Dalton defender. He went straight up, high-pointed the ball, clean play, and ability for some free throws.
Ooh, not a very confident-looking stroke right there. He'll still get 1 more. The foul, though, on Brady Hignite. Keep an eye on that. Definitely don't want to lose your outstanding stud, almost 20-point-per-game scorer due to some foul issues.
Got some full-court pressure by Kirtland.
Handled well. Hignite, another nice fake, and he's going to take it up and over the top of Ben this time.
That was some really good defense, too, not fouling, but Hignite's that player that it doesn't matter. Not phased, gets it up over the shot block. And
up
scores.
and under, Will Burt using the rim to shield off the defender.
Speeding up a little bit now, Ski.
Both of these teams with that full court pressure, you're going to see it. We're going to have the tempo at times sped up. We'll see who's able to utilize the change of speed a little bit better.
That's some good help defense also by Kirtland inside. Dalton's needs to spread things out a little bit more to get those defenders out, and there's an unforced error.
Right through the fingers of Carter Hignite on the shovel pass out to the corner. He was probably thinking catch and release. Yep. And it goes down as a giveaway.
You know, kind of like football players, some of those receivers that drop because they're thinking about running. That's more, I'm thinking about getting that open three. You have to watch the ball into your hands.
Pull up Jay a little bit too firm right there from Carriero. He's matched up on Carter off the screen. Will come here near side. Baseline drive and a little step. But Wenger left it right on the lip.
Had the finger roll, but I think he went up with it a little too early. Couldn't get it up off the glass. Nice backdoor cut.
Deja vu, the up and under for Burt. Both of his buckets look exactly the same. Reversal for the Dogs. Now it sticks a little bit here with Wenger. Call for a ball screen up top with Carter Hignite. Got to step down the lane, pitches it out. The three off target. And you see DeFranco, he's got some go-go gadget arms inside. That's already his third rebound.
Offensive
and
foul.
One go. Wipe it off the board. My colleague is correct. We're headed the other way.
Yeah. Had a clean view of the referee on the other side immediately. Put the hand on the head. That's a charge, a turnover, and one of the best defensive plays you can make in basketball, the charge.
It's always a coach's favorite. And Wenger gets loose the other way for his first field goal.
And those are some momentum plays. You get the charge on one end, immediately translates the points, and instead of this being a 6, maybe 7-point game with the and one, it's down to 2.
Heatwell with the gamble, leaves an open shooter from the corner. Renfro's missed his first 2 attempts.
Man, the way Kirtland's able to run the floor, but on the other side, so is Dalton as we get a timeout. Kirtland.
Yeah, forces the hand of the coaching staff to burn an early TO here, 32nd. And just a nice strong take, back-to-back buckets now for the senior Wenger.
Very coy by him to do that. But
quite the opposite, actually. Actually, no, he did make it look pretty cool out there.
That's what I mean. He made it look just nonchalant. So with Kirtland, they're getting in transition. Quick passes down the lane. They're running the floor. But then on the other side, Dalton, they're quick in transition, but it's sprinting the floor with the ball handler and taking it to the hole. So 2 teams doing the same thing, but in different ways.
Both trying to get the pace at their level. So far, it's been Dalton doing a little bit more exploiting here on their last 2 trips down the floor. Do want to say what's up to everybody out there watching live and free, including Randy Newman, who's saying go Dalton.
Jaden Carver, Tanner Slusher, our friend from Cardington, and Phyllis Heimberger watching from Marion. Everybody all around the state watching some regional basketball tonight.
Keep the comments coming, folks. Every time out, we'll jump back into the comment section, see what you crazy cats are getting into. Well, short little breeze passing through here as Danny Alfieri coming off the bench and misses that one.
Yeah, Kirtland making a couple changes. As also Sammy Ridgway into the game, play some defense.
Heatwell calls for Hignite to initiate the offense. Here they go, 2-man game left side. Backdoor cut, not a good looking pass there by Wenger. Force fed that one, and we'll get a reach-in foul coming here after the play. It looked like a whole lot of leather though to me.
Carter's first. I'm guessing with the angle, we didn't have quite the angle. He got him on the arm because if you get him on the hand, that's part of the ball, isn't it?
It's supposed to be.
So
each Hignite with a foul. As Kirtland gets another clean look from the corner. Nobody's been able to bury a trifecta yet. Great hustle keeps it in play for Renfro. Off balance jumper missing for Carriero. And now Dalton will end it. Hignite a couple jab steps. Now he'll get the switch. Heatwell's got the size advantage, but he'll set up Hignite straight away, and there it is. Kaboom from downtown.
Made that look easy. That's why he's a first-team all-district player. You can't leave him open like that.
Slithering through the kick out, opposite corner, and they keep misfiring. Raskin with the latest miss. Hignite The head and shoulders fake, and the lefty spins home.
Now he's starting to heat up. He's got 7 points.
Largest early lead here so far for the Dogs. Icy cold, just like the weather outside from beyond the arc. Sets up a 2-on-1. Hignite.
Beautiful pass.
Heat Wolves left a couple shot attempts. A little bit short. Actually, that was Gabe Clark inside. Ooh. As just looks like Kirtland's pressing a little bit. A make would certainly settle things down, but Ridgeway can't make that happen.
They're just rushing it. They have good looks at the bucket, but they can take a half second to get set.
Off the handoff, here comes Hignite. Can't lose the defender. Well done fighting over the top by Ridgeway. Here he is out defending now on Carter Hignite.
Look in the back door.
Ball's loose on the ground, collected by the Hornets.
And there comes that transition.
Renfro spinning, but into trouble. Carter, 2-on-1, back to him, I think on accident. And now the rebound by Raskin.
Both teams unable to get that transition going. On one side, should have made the pass, didn't turn it over. On the other end, passed it a little too early and turned it over.
So Carriero looking to slow things down. He's got the switch. Now Renfro, fall away, count it, and another on the way.
They needed that bucket to fall. That's just composed, set, fading away, but getting a good shot off.
Not a whole lot of contact there either. Gabe Clark draws the personal. He'll head over to the sideline. Thad Weaver going to get some minutes here, or at least the last 35.4 ticks. I think a wise strategy here by the Dalton coaching staff to make sure that you don't get your star player with 2 fouls. Brady over on the sidelines.
Are the referees talking about who made the foul, or is this going to get called off, or?
Well, the only player that was anywhere near the ball was Gabe Clark.
Well, we do have a moment. I want to shout out Ben Ferguson.
What's up, Coach?
He said to us, hey, like seeing you covering the WCAL. Coach, it's going to be called on Coy, so that's his first. But shout out Coach Ferguson. What a run the Hillsdale Falcons made this year. Just too bad they had to face the state's all-time leading scorer in that semifinal game, and he hits, I think, 7 threes, 6 or 7 threes. He's just good.
And he wasn't even looking for a shot early in the game. Quinn Kwasniak's the real deal.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how big of a prospect is. Obviously, he's committed to go to Army. But that dude, for a high school player at the smaller divisions, one of the most impressive kids I've watched, a double-double with 11 assists in that contest. So, Falcons, don't hang your head. Amazing season.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
A lot of fun to watch them play.
District champs. I mean,
hadn't done that since before I was in high school, Travis. Yeah. I've got kids that are going to graduate in a couple years.
Before I was in 7th grade.
Just the baby. Now he's got a full form goatee out here. Amazing stuff.
Gotta look good. Gotta look good for the tournament, my man, you know? Dalton got to look good on this final possession. They get the double dip. They hold for the final shot, get that. They get ball out of the timeout as well.
Wenger just burning up a few seconds here before he gives off to Carter. And now I think they'll try to get it flowing. Off the double screen, they'll set up Weaver, tipped out, and we're heading the other way.
Yeah, you just can't get the ball into that corner on a double team. It more times than not, it's trouble.
And that was the game plan too, to set up Weaver. They had him with a couple of down screens to open up for the three-pointer. He's only 26% from downtown in the season.
And where the ball was thrown out of bounds, Kirtland now has a chance. This is kind of like those NBA out of timeouts right at the past the midcourt line. You get a catch, couple passes. 3 seconds is a ton of time for this.
Got Carriero The deep man here, they'll set the ball screen for him by Max Paul. He'll step into one, pretty clean look. Oh, it rattles out. So Kirtland, after 1 quarter of play, trails by 2. It'll be Dalton basketball when we bring you back. Second quarter action on the way here with the regional title on the line.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
What's up, y'all? How we doing out there watching live and free here tonight? I'm Brian. This gentleman in the backwards cap is Travis, and you're enjoying Regional Championship basketball 100% live and free thanks to our friends over at Santmyer Companies, Weaver Commercial Contractors, Arrow Accounting, Pinnacle Building Services, Spherion Mid-Ohio, and of course BS Media Productions.
We also have Georgia McFarland next to us. She's staying right there. She had some stats for you after one. What did she have?
Yeah, the biggest glaring numbers right now, Dalton with that last one, that was their 4th giveaway there in the opening quarter. So for the Bulldogs, that would put them on an average of 16 for the game. Probably can't have that many if you want to get a win. But the biggest glaring number, 0 for 7 from beyond the arc so far for the Hornets. So those are game-changing type of plays. The three-point arc, if you're knocking them down, it can be huge. If you're misfiring, obviously equally as impactful, as Heatwell keeps it alive. Strong drive, but misfiring is Hignite.
Yeah, that's, again, good defense by DeFranco just to force Hignite into a tougher shot than he was expecting.
And he's got 7 of the 12, but it feels like he should have about a dozen so far. 0 for 8 now from long range, but an offensive rebound. They'll keep the possession alive with Burt. Nice take, and the lefty finish here for Carriero.
Yeah, that was a lapse on Dalton's side in defense. They just opened up the Red Seas for him. He took advantage of it to tie the game.
Hignite bullying his way straight to the tin. Nice job, banks open late here in Canton.
I mean, we'll open the Red Seas for you. I don't care if you're in front of me. I'm taking this to the hole and scoring.
That's what primetime scorers do. This dude's been one in the tournament. Drops it straight through. I barely even think that hit the net for Lucas.
Bowden scoring for Kirtland. Renfro 5, Carriero 4, Burt 4.
Hignite, nice head and shoulders fake. Gets a little bit cleaner look. Misfires, and the 5'8" senior with the board sends ahead. Easy money for Aiden Hurd.
Kirtland back out front for the first time since the opening moments of this one. Thank you very much. I'll take that, says Carriero.
Yeah, he averages 3 thefts per contest. Now Hurd working inside over the sophomore. Glass work. Get a timeout here.
Yeah. Great job by Kirtland out of the timeout in between the quarters to really calm themselves down, get back to their playing style, and they've taken advantage, and now it's Dalton needing to take a timeout to calm themselves down.
Yeah, Cody burning a timeout, and solid timeout right here. You see the 8-2 run going on in the quarter, and sometimes all you need to do to break momentum is to do exactly that. Just take them off the floor for a second, re-strategize. All the great coaching staffs will do it. And, you know, obviously Cody kind of thrusted in the situation where he took over last year midway through the season. He's got a full year under his belt now, so this dude, he's a veteran at this point, and even though he's a young cat, been doing an exceptional job for this Bulldogs crew, getting them to 6 consecutive wins after they had lost 3 out of 4 towards the end of the regular season. And here's a look at the playoff picture and what still remains here for all of Division 6. That's right, folks. We are down to the Elite 8. We're going to have a couple of these teams on display tomorrow as well. Travis making the drive with Joe Baylog up to Bowling Green to see LCC take on Colonel Crawford. And the winner of this one gets the victor of that.
Maybe, because, we think. But it depends on Marion Local, Anna, and Monroe Central and Eastern as well. But you got to think, kind of like in football, if Dalton and Crawford win, they're matched up. Maybe we see that in Mansfield at Pete Henry. Who knows?
Be a lot of fun. And I can roll out of bed and walk there in a minute, so I like it. And so do Dalton fans when a Wenger bursts off from long range.
Adjustments out of the timeout. Both teams able to do that. One out of the quarter timeout, one out of a full timeout, and it's back to a one-point game.
And he is a volume three-point shooter, almost 200 attempts on the campaign. That's his 56th make.
That's my kind of shooter.
Volume, baby.
Yeah. Volume and taking the three.
It's going to be a tough move. Hurd almost beat the defender. Pocket picked. And now here comes the Bulldogs off the turnover. Oh, they leave Hignite with a little wiggle room.
Just a bit short on it, though. And here comes that speed and transition again.
Just a gorgeous feed. We talked about the fact that Carriero, much more than just a potent scorer. Nice setup, and that's 7 points now for Aiden Hurd. Jump stop, tipped on the kick out, and it's because there was a foul on the floor, and this is going to go against Hurd. And that's exactly how you draw up the transition break when you do that 3-on-2, 2-on-1 drill. Draw the defender at the last moment, set it up, and if they don't, you take the shot. The senior connection, thing of beauty right there. So Bulldogs down by 3 under the basket. Hop step, and that's just going to be the second foul here of the quarter. Both of them coming in the last 10 seconds. And you see Alfieri don't really appreciate that one, but he'll draw the whistle.
That was all created by Coy. Got the Euro step, got into the defender, then took it up. Actually, they say went into him before taking it up, so it's on the floor. Danny Alfieri, I said that name a lot in the Final Four football game.
Yeah, I mean, he just looks like a brick house football stud out there. I mean, there's no neck on 23 whatsoever.
No.
Catch and release! And how about it? Through the bottom for Thad.
Dalton loves shooting the three, like we just said. And when they're on, you see it not hitting any metal when it goes through. That's their third three of the night, and all three of them went through. Is that going to be a blocking call? I have the replay. What do you think, Mr. Skoronsky?
Well, I was a little surprised in real time because it certainly felt like Lucas lost his balance, and that's what created the initial contact. Clark certainly tried to sell it maybe a half second early.
Yep.
If he waits until the footing is lost and then falls down, probably going to get the call going the opposite way.
I completely 100% agree with you. He had to set, and he was moving off to his side a little bit as well. Only the first foul of the quarter, though, against Dalton.
They'll pop out Renfro here, looking to go to work. Tough contested shot, just a fraction off. Rebound out to Wenger. Coy in transition. Right back out to him.
I mean, his shooting's great, but I'm just so impressed about his ball handling skills here.
Didn't quite have the soft touch inside, though.
But his ability to get to the hole with 3 defenders in front of him.
Yeah, he's been getting varsity minutes since he was a freshman, I believe. Certainly since a sophomore. Nice little teardrop from DeFranco. Seesaw battle going right now. Kirtland back out in front. Heatwell looking to do some work down on the block turns. And they've missed on that left side, point-blank range 3 times.
And they've been able to get separation with those post moves as well.
Not inside of that young man's house. Block shot for the Bulldogs.
Oh, and he ollied it.
But they'll
Here's
give
the
it
block.
right back. Yeah, let's see that again. I mean, that's just gorgeous execution inside there for Hignite. Acted like he was going to take the charge, and then whoop, 2 hands up, and over a 6'5" kid. I mean, you're going to get a lot of blocks. Actually, more like 6'3". But with those arms, probably a 6'6" wingspan.
A wingspan. And an offensive foul on the inbounds.
Wow.
Here it is. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of motion there by Kayani.
Well, I was saying it was the defensive player that went through him and caused him to move there. So kind of sold by Dalton to get the call. It's a turnover nonetheless, and the 3rd foul on Kirtland with 2:40 left in the half.
Yeah, Coach McGregor had a nice strong laugh about that one. I think he saw what you saw.
But that's in a replay and a little bit slower time. The referees might see otherwise. Whew! I saw that one though.
Yeah, Winger with a solid bucket. Hand in his face, didn't matter.
Coy and Brady both with 9.
Yeah, they're a solid duo out there, and when Heatwall gets it going as well, the trifecta.
Wow.
Meanwhile, the member of the 1,000-point club stacking a couple extra on top. Vince is impressive, man. You can tell he's a kid that he spends a lot of time in the gym, in the driveway. He just loves hoops.
And I'm loving this game so far. We have 2 very good teams going at it back and forth. Heavyweight battle. Heavyweight bucket right there by Coy getting into double figures. He's the first to do so.
Just let the defense fly by him. Coy, yet again, true to his name. Just keeping his cool there in the lane. Pitch and catch. The big fella with the first 3 for the Hornets.
Bust through the goal line into the end zone. He can also bust through from beyond the arc.
Bennett back the other way, pushing their chips into the middle.
Woo!
All even yet again. Wenger's going to draw the reach in. But you just love the confidence. Both of these teams going back and forth right now. The settling in process is definitely out of the way.
Here's that 3. I mean, just give him enough space. He can make you pay.
Wenger's got about half the points so far here in this opening half. Renfro's not been able to create much space off of the dribble. Really credit the Dogs for sitting down on him. Alfieri getting a straight gong, going back to back.
That's why shooters shoot, Brian. Missed the first 3, a couple bad ones, but he kept shooting. He saw it go through. Now he's got that rhythm down.
Heat roll over the top, backdoor, up and under. It's that same side. Hignite with a toe over the end line, battling for possession.
And we're going to get a foul.
Wow, so what a big play here for the Bulldogs as they do get the whistle against Will Burt. Regain possession here.
And if you get fouled one more time, it's putting him in the bonus for the last 25.9. Get a quick bucket here, maybe a foul off a rebound or something. That foul is very important at this moment. They had too many men on the court.
I mean, if the referees don't identify it,
yeah,
not your fault. Wenger slapped back at him like a tennis stroke from DeFranco.
Oh,
little short on that spin inside too. Final 11 seconds. See if the Hornets hold for the last shot. Get a reach-in foul. And that's a pretty reverse in between the legs room to create some space, but that'll do it as well. DeFranco. I mean, this dude, he has got those Gumby limbs. So 7 ticks, a couple substitutions here for Coach Hoof.
Now for Kirtland, you score here at the buzzer, you get the ball out of the half for a double dip.
And already with a 3-point lead.
Oh, what a cross.
Carriero left it short. Board to Hignite. Good if it goes. And that is how quarter two will end. We have reached the half. Teams heading into the locker rooms both got to feel pretty good about themselves so far in this one. It's the Hornets with a slim margin. They lead 30-27. Keep it here. More live and free basketball returns after a short commercial break. Halftime stats, analysis in quarter three still on the way from gorgeous Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
Tonight's regional championship game brought to you folks live and free thanks to our good friends over at Arrow Accounting. Moving your community forward with Arrow Accounting Company, contact Kara Barnes for services at the link down in the description. It is tax season. Make sure that you go to the best. Hit up the tax lady of Dalton. Santmyer Companies, smart fuel solutions and exceptional service. Always no exceptions. Weaver Commercial Contractor is a proud supporter of local high school athletes. Contact Weaver Commercial Contractor for all of your commercial contracting needs. Proudly doing business throughout Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Travis's home state of West Virginia. Pinnacle Building Services. Elevate your professional space with tailored cleaning solutions that promise unmatched quality and reliability. Spherion Mid-Ohio is proud to support our local athletes. They know that the foundations that make great employees are woven into the teamwork, focus, and perseverance given in each practice and game. Let's get to work. And then BS Media Productions. Do you need a commercial to showcase your business or to promote that you are hiring? Contact me, Brian Skoronsky. We shoot everything in 4K. We've got drones. We've got all of the fancy things that you need for lighting and audio. Plus, we're just fun to work with. So hit me up, follow me on Facebook down in the description, shoot me a message, and we will get you an awesome commercial. All right, guys, your halftime report is coming up in just a matter of seconds. Stay right there. Georgia McFarland and I are going to be right back to break down all the numbers that you need to know.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change.
It's halftime here at the fabulous Memorial Fieldhouse of Canton as we bring you our report presented by Arrow Accounting Company. Oh, how about that? Somebody loves us, Georgia, and I love bringing on my star intern at halftime of games to break down all the numbers that she has been tracking. And you know that there is a lot of history here within this building. You're sitting courtside here tonight in one of the oldest venues, not just in the state of Ohio, but the entire galaxy for high school sports. Georgia, how are you feeling about the view and just high school tournament basketball from this perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I go to Crestview, so I've never really been to a basketball game like this. The crowds here are electric. Everyone's on every call, on everything that happens, and it's really a great environment.
Definitely one of my favorite, bar none. Love coming out here. And these numbers you've been tracking throughout the course of the game, so just give me kind of your ideas about what you think some of the biggest storylines right now are told by the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, most things are pretty even across the board, like fouls, free throws, rebounds. But the one thing that really stands out to me the most is the turnovers. 6 turnovers isn't a crazy amount, but when it's 6-3 in a tight game like this and you're playing against a team who can very much capitalize on those turnovers, it really makes a difference.
That's 3 extra possessions so far right now for Kirtland, who had their third one. Was kind of a weird one there at the end of that second quarter as well. 3-point shot wasn't kind to Kirtland early on, but they've they've hit their last couple, Georgia. So that, in terms of just being a game changer, I imagine that that's going to be a big storyline by the end of the night if they can start balancing it out. But it's the Bulldogs right now that they've got 4 to just their 2.
Yeah, I mean, each team really stuck with their strong suit, I thought, in that second quarter. Kirtland shot a lot in the first quarter, but they weren't really hitting. And they're really good with mid-range and just getting to the basket. And that's really what they focused on in that second quarter, and it helped them out a lot.
Some very balanced scoring right now for the Hornets when you look at Hurd and Carriero both with 6 points, and so does Alfieri off the strength of those 2 made 3-pointers right now. On the opposite side, it's really just 2 kids kind of carrying the scoring load with Corey Wenger. He's got 14 to lead everybody, and then Brady Hignite right now with 9. So we were talking a lot about Dalton before the game and the fact that they've got a lot of kids that can really contribute, and that Kirtland's kind of got that big 1-2 punch. It's been a little bit opposite so far here in the first half, Georgia. So who do you think that favors in the long run if you've got a couple of kids that are really filling it up and are getting hot and filling themselves versus if there's about 5-6 different kids contributing?
I think in the long run, it'll help a lot more if there's more kids contributing, because then you can't really focus on one person defensively or 1 or 2 people defensively, and you really have to make sure you're guarding the whole floor when everybody can score.
Yeah, it's a really solid point, because right now it seems like not really sure where the points are going to come from for Kirtland, and right now it's got them up by 3 at this point. We'll see if they're able to continue this here in their first trip to the Elite 8 since 1991. And it looked like they had a little bit of jitters there at the beginning of the game and were able to get over that pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big environment. It's a big game for both of these teams. And it's a matchup that they see each other quite often, as much as they would like to. And I think there's just a lot of emotion and a lot of momentum behind this game, and you got to give them credit for showing up today.
All right, I give you credit for getting all those awesome numbers for us. Thanks, Georgia. All right, I'm going to pass off my headset, and I'm going to get mine back. Hey, Travis Barty, he's back with me.
Hi, Brian. That was a great first half of basketball we saw there. And, I mean, if it's anything like the first half, we're going to be in for an entertaining second half because these two teams just slugging it out back and forth in that first half. Leads changed multiple times. Now Kirtland trying to get that all-important two-plus possession lead as we begin third quarter action.
And it's always big. Our Hall of Fame coach, Joe Baylog, talks about it all the time, getting that 2-for-1, if you will, where you get the final shot of the first half, even though they came up empty-handed, and then here you go, you get to start the third quarter with it. So we'll see how the Hornets come out of the halftime locker rooms. Renfro with an offensive foul, but he's been aggressive all night. He's been looking for his shot. They've been falling for him so far throughout the tournament, and feels like pressing a little bit. He's taking a couple of contested jumpers, and he's shaking his head right now. This is a kid that if he starts finding his stroke, though, look out. Yeah,
he started hitting towards the end of the half. He finished with 5 points. It's second on the team behind 3 players of 6, but he was patient. That time he tried, he wanted to get that second bucket quick and turned into a charge.
Heat will no look pass to the corner. Buckets for Carter Hignite.
That's the second time tonight that a charge turns into points for Dalton.
And that's just a gorgeous look. Opposite way that time from Matthew Heatwell. This is a first-team all-district performer for a reason. He's more than just a scorer and rebounder. He's a heady basketball player.
And then he draws the foul. That's actually his first field goal of the night as well, Brian. So if he can start going, it's going to be good for Dalton in the second half.
Skip pass, clean look at 3. Hurd thinks better of it. Spins back to the interior. Fade pass over to the corner. Off the backdoor cut. Handle lost here by Carriero.
That was all Carter getting the hand in there, stripping it out.
Brady off the lid. Collects his own miss, and that left side is really the Achilles heel right now for the Bulldogs. By my count, that is their 6th miss off the left. From that exact distance right there at the rim, it does lead to free throws.
Yeah, DeFranco called for the foul, but that was a good job by Brady Hignite. After missing the first one, he saw the ball, took an extra bounce on the rim and was able to get the rebound and then just muscled his way back up to give Dalton its lead back, putting him in the double figures at 10 points.
86th made free throw of the season as well. Gets there more than anybody else by a long shot on the team. More than twice as many attempts as the next best player, Corey Wenger. Step back 3.
Oh, it looked good.
Woo! And Matthew Heatwell, the 5 fingers, say to the ball. Block.
See what you did there. Heatwell only 1 point from the free throw line so far, but his defense has been key. Might have got away with a travel there.
Pitch out to the corner. Lipped off the front of the rim somehow. Unfortunate for Wenger.
You know what that was? That was a ball don't lie moment because the refs missed the walk.
Taking the bump. Heading to the free throw line. Vince Carriero. 5'7". Never met contact he didn't like, though. Knows how to use his body. Great landing point, too.
Well, even more important, that's the 3rd foul on Hignite. So he's going to have to take a seat.
Yeah, Thad Weaver heading over to the scores table. And the 3-point play gives Kirtland a 1-point edge. Actually, no, Carter. Carter's going to check out.
And that's tough, too, because Carter finally hits that 3, maybe getting it going offensively. Now he's going to have to take a seat for a bit.
Wenger can't seem to shake Hurd. Now off the bench, the kick out back from Thad Weaver. Hignite rejects the screen. 7:20 right there. And now Heat will want a fake A. They finally make a left-handed layup.
I'm dizzy. All the spinning. Surprised he wasn't.
Yeah, it took him on a trip off the merry-go-round right there, and sometimes it's like that old bat trick where you spin and spin.
Ooh.
And ooh, right now Cody Hoost's head is spinning. He can't believe it's not their ball.
Take that look.
Referees are talking about it.
It was off his foot. He ollied it. Yep, that's the right call. That's, especially at this level, I love, even though it takes a couple seconds to do it, when refs come together and they correct the call. Sometimes the referee's out of position, doesn't see it right, but they got it correct there. He ollied it right off the foot, out of bounds. Dalton gets it back with some momentum.
And Tiptree did tell us last year that OHSA is considering having the video replay at the state level, so it wouldn't matter here.
No. I mean,
but
Tim,
we're
here, bud. If you want us, yeah.
Another strong take by Vince. Wasn't able to finish it off. But this dude, the little engine that could, and he's got a great feel for when to attack, when to shift into third gear and fourth gear. Another strong take lands him at the free throw line.
That's why he was our player spotlight. In and out, though, on the first.
They'll have one more in our Arrow Accounting free throw zone.
There's his player spotlight points.
Yeah, 24 in the double overtime game. He averages right around 19, though, for the season. So he's been a potent threat every single night out so far during his senior campaign. How about this? Comes out of the whirly bird ahead of steam, and the soft touch off the window.
He must have known that I put up his stats because steals was one of them.
And I think that's his third.
I need to add to it. I need to get over my mark. There we go.
Turned away at the front door is Hignite. Dalton does well, though, to track it down.
Block number 3 for DeFranco.
Wanger's got Hurd sized up, blows right by him like a kite in the wind.
And that time, that was the perfect finger roll off of it. He was a little short earlier in the first half. He's got that down. And again, I mean, just the ability to get to the hole and to draw fouls.
Little Carriero sandwich right there. He was the salami in between the two Bulldogs. Now 3 of 4 at the line tonight.
13 points for him. Man, this has been an entertaining game. Final 4 on the line. It's back and forth.
And as outspoken as I've been about the watered-down edition here of the tournament, it is fun to see teams. Neither of these teams are making a regional final if there's only 4 divisions. They're going to have to run into Richmond Heights.
Absolutely.
Just unfortunately, that's what it would have been.
I would have been happy
with
with 6.
Is fun.
This could have been 6. It would have been the same. Richmond Heights a 5 or a 4. Expansion, okay. Unforced error, not good though for Dalton right there. But I think they expanded it just too much. I mean, we saw some of our teams in D7 in those districts where they just steamrolled through because there's not much competition. Expand to 5, expand to 6, absolutely, but they just did a little bit too much.
Once you get to the Sweet 16, now it gets fun because all these teams are good. And speaking of good, matter of fact, let's upgrade number 11. He has been great in this third quarter.
Ties Coy Wenger for the game lead with 16.
Oh, coming for the backside, and the force steal for that gentleman. Up ahead of the pack.
Got to see a timeout here. Nope. Coach saying, let's go.
Cody's going to let him play through it. This is the largest lead from either side tonight.
Still 3 minutes left in the third, but he wants to see his team recover.
Wenger buries it.
Offensive foul.
Moving screen on Heat will erase the 3.
Oh, my.
My mama raised me to not ever hate, but
He was opening up.
He's spinning away from the contact.
That's rough.
That's a big play. Those are ones that you'll look back on. Instead of a 3-point game, now it's a 6-point game still, and possession goes to the opposite side. Tough break. Can Kirtland kind of rub their face in it with some points? Renfro left it short.
Ball don't lie.
Hasn't been able to find his stroke just yet, though. He does have 7. Same exact look at the top of the key. Fighting underneath it here goes Alfieri. Oh, nice turn away from it, and Wenger with the turnaround J.
And there's the timeout.
Coach Cody gonna burn a TO. Just a pretty move down there on the block, and that's right in his wheelhouse. That's where Wenger makes a lot of his hay, just keeping kids off balance. We've seen both him and Brady Hignite with head fakes get the defenders to leave planet Earth, and it's really paid off.
Yeah, but I do like what Coach did there. He didn't call the timeout, got the stop, came down. They made the bucket, then gets the timeout. If he does it earlier, you get Kirtland all fired up. You get the crowd fired up going up here. But then they get the bucket here. It kind of calms things down. He gets the timeout. Then he's able to settle his guys down without giving more momentum over the Kirtland.
And as promised in the timeouts, I'm going to take a little look in the chat section as we do look at what is ahead. How about that matchup, Marion Local and Anna having to play again. That win over Tri-Village for Anna.
By 1. That was a good game, too. I heard it came down to the wire.
But just like football, Marion Local, I mean, they are just dogpiling over the competition as Renfro continues to struggle a bit from the floor. Leads
nice
to a breakout.
Transition.
And the bunny drops for Clark.
His first points of the night.
So just like that, back down to just a 2-point game. Ball loose. Wenger goes flying.
What a hustle.
It's off of Vince.
What a hustle play. He didn't foul. He went right at the ball, and he forced the turnover. And I saw it in real time. It hit off a...
Yeah, that's off Corey Wenger. And that's what Vince was trying to tell him. Hey, that hit off his forearm and not my foot. But the referee's got to make that split decision. Oh, and now Vince, maybe a little in his own head. Carriero drawing the blocking foul.
Only his first. But also, you know, the referees seeing the hustle, maybe rewarding the hustle as well. A 50-50 call.
And how about this? A quick look in our Facebook feed. And the WCAL is showing out right now, Travis. We've got Carla Folk, a Hillsdale fan, cheering on the Bulldogs.
Coach Ferguson as well.
Kathy Robinson,
what
a Falcon fan, cheering on that bucket right there. That was gorgeous stuff from Brady Hignite.
6-0 run for Dalton out of the timeout.
I do also want to shout out Teresa Snyder, who's a Norway fan. The girls playing in the first ever Final Four tomorrow.
In Mansfield.
But cheering on. That's what's cool about this time of year is that you just want to see your league do well as Vince gets skinny but missed it in tight. Would have been a tough shot from our angle. That was amazing. He was able to knife through.
Oh!
And speaking of amazing feats, the Dogs are out in front with a 9-0 run.
He's got 20.
Ay, ay, ay. Trying to calm down the storm right now, but they leave it off the rim. Second chance, though. Clean look straight away. And a big board by Heatwall.
Now it's Kirtland that's missing some of these bunnies, and we're going to get a foul on them. That'll be the 4th. Dalton will be in the bonus the rest of the way, but things getting a little, I wouldn't say chippy, but plays accelerating.
The momentum has swung in Dalton's favor. Trying to ride that wave right now with possession. 54 seconds, and they've got the possession arrow as well, Travis. So if they elect to, or if they can.
Like a good ice cream cone, get that double dip.
Try to hold out here for one shot. It's so rare, it seems like, this season. The teams are doing that. And back to pop off the bottom of the restraint. Tough shot. Second look inside. No good for Brady.
That could have been a highlight right there. Behind his head, flicked it up, but just a little bit off. And now does Kirtland? No, they won't. Never mind. I won't even say it. Wow.
Woo! A little bit of English on the muffin. Throwing some butter on there. This dude's been phenomenal here in this third quarter.
This game's been phenomenal.
Hignite gets it back to the middle, down to 5 seconds. Wenger turns the corner, lost the handle. Vince from mid-court. The camera guy right in the dome piece. That's not good for any points, but we're all even, folks. 88 points, 44 each. Both fan bases up on their feet. This is an amazing game. Stay with us. Money time is all that remains.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change.
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's money time. Falling from the rooftops here in Canton. A whole lot of stacks out there for the taking. One of these teams about to get real rich with hardware as regional champs. I'm Brian Skronsky. Travis Berardi is with me, and a whole lot of you out there watching live and free. We'll jump into the comment section, and each time out here in fourth quarter action.
Still have 7 total, so we might have enough time. That's a kick.
Whoa,
Through the uprights, it's good.
Look at that. Zoom. That went into the upper deck.
And guess who that was? That was Vince. He does it all. I don't remember if he was the kicker on the football team, but could have been. Great strip.
Brady surrounded inside, and fortunate for the Dogs, the Hornets aren't able to track it down.
And Vince, once again, strips the ball out, nearly gets the turnover.
Some guys just have an innate ability. Obviously, he's got quick acceleration with the hand speed. A la that play right there, which leads to a turnover in Kirtland basketball. They just got a good feel for the game, you can tell.
Yeah. 7 minutes, 38 seconds separates one of these two teams in a Final Four.
Carriero, two-man game, double comes. He'll give it up top. Renfro rejects the screen, loses the handle, regains the pitch out, the three. And
through
loose
the
ball
back.
foul. He knew it right away. That'll go on Lucas.
He went up, but he went into the back. You saw the elbow there. That's why he got called with it. That's his second, the first team foul of the quarter for Kirtland. You know, I think Kirtland would have the upper hand in a close game like this just because of how they had to play in the semifinal while Dalton cruised.
And that's something Coach McGregor talked to the media about after that win, as this three hits the front iron. Hignite. Whoa! What happened? What was that
First
wizardry?
just caught that.
Looking like Chris Angel out there that threw the back trick.
Well, thank you very much.
But the shooting remains cold so far for Renfro, who went off for a career 31 against Smithville. But back to my quick little story. Coach said we schedule our non-league games. That way we can get down, obviously, in some games. and that you're not afraid of it when you get into the tournament time.
I like that.
Into big situations. So I thought that was kind of a cool perspective that, so what if we're getting beat in some of our non-league games? It gives us a chance that, what are we made of at the end?
Well, especially with the RPI now, you're able to schedule those games, and those games won't hurt you as much. And even though that's why they were, I believe, a 9 seed and playing like this, they are rewarded with their play. As Wenger rewarded with that take. It's going to be the third on Burt.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration as well. I think just citywide right now with all the Kirtland fans. Because there's been a couple of, questionable, if you will, with the concentration of the contact if it's really a foul. But you look at some of the non-league games that were played, and there's a lot of good ones up and down the schedule, like West Geauga playing North Cuyahoga Heights, the Cornerstone Christian game. So Kirtland, they've seen some really quality teams on their schedule.
But also Dalton. Like I said, 8 of their 10 losses, teams that are either playing for a regional championship or played in the regional semis.
Elbow work right there, and he's got the grease to find it through. Vince Carriero, 20 points.
Yeah. And the 2 free throws hurt right now for Dalton. That bucket gives Kirtland the lead back.
Tie up. Possession arrow with the Hornets.
We saw this, though, at the beginning of the third quarter. Kirtland went out with a run, but Dalton settled midway through, made a run of their own.
Great look inside, and DeFranco up and under for the bucket. 5 points now for Ben. A lot of even distribution scoring outside
double dribble
of number 11. And that's a tough foul against Hignite. That's going to be his third.
No, I think it was just a travel on the rebound.
Oh, excuse me.
He caught it, came back down, thought about shooting for a second, then went back down again. Caught in between.
Woo! Out of the whirly bird, the 3, and those just will not drop.
That would have been huge for the crowd, for momentum.
And look at this, the human tornado. I mean, he's just always in the spin cycle.
He's just so scrappy. You just can't get him away.
Full court pressure. Dalton's got to get it in. They'll come to the middle here and then pitch right back to Carter, and they'll just clear out. Hignite with the handoff. Wenger, foul line. Got a couple dudes to jump. 3 minutes in, Bulldogs scoreless in the fourth.
And now Kirtland with a 4-point lead. Gonna settle down and get into their offense.
Yeah, they're going a little 4-out look right here. Baseline, no room. And just stepping out of bounds. Perfectly defended that time by Carter Hignite, even with those 3 fouls. Wilbert, after a couple minutes on the bench, checks in. And Thad Weaver, they'll match him. Cody Huth will. Spill out Gabe Clark.
So Kirtland had it out to 6 in the third quarter. If they can get it beyond that, they could really take control of this as we hit the midway point. But that's the thing. They have not been able to hit that shot to get them that separation.
A lot of counter punches have been delivered by Dalton. And with their back to the wall, they've been delivering here so far tonight. Carriero he is a fruit fly on like some open banana peels out there. This dude is just constantly just around the basketball. Hignite can't break.
And there he is again.
Looking to go to work behind the back pass. And this dude has been a 3-point arsonist all night. All of his points from long range, 9 of them.
And there's that 7-point lead, the largest of the night for Kirtland. more than midway through this one. Dalton desperately needs a score here.
Flying in the danger zone. See if they can break out the three too much.
Forced it.
Back-to-back rebounds now by the smallest dude on the floor.
And now this is the moment here. A bucket. Take the roof off the place here, especially for this student section. That's going to go out of bounds and stay with them.
Wenger got a little touch on the basketball. So it'll be out of bounds underneath the hoop. They'll come opposite side with Will Burt. And out of the stack. See what they try to look for out of this. Always a good idea to get it back in the hands of Vince.
Oh my goodness.
And lays it in the cookie jar. This dude, he's got 6 speeds, and he can jump from first gear to 6 just like that. So Dalton's going to try to stop the bleeding with Hignite heading to the free throw line. And boy, did they need something to kind of break down this momentum and get some flowing in their favor.
Whoop.
I mean, just left Wenger in his wake. Friendly roll. The first points of the fourth quarter come inside of the Arrow Accounting free throw zone.
Still 3 minutes left. Plenty of time for the Joe Baylog. You know what the Joe Baylog is, correct?
I think the entire OH Report family understands what that is. Leaves it short. Back tapped out. Big three on the way. Wenger.
Ooh, wow.
It's an awesome tip out by Heat Roll. Slightly out of the range that time from Corey Wenger. But for Joe B, he's looking for a stop, a score, and a stop. And then that's how you still momentum.
Three-quarter court pressure from Dalton. Broken. And then a timeout by Kirtland. 9-1 in the quarter.
Yeah,
That's
Coach
your
McGregor,
difference.
he's got to love the first 10 points. 9 of them belong to you right now. And especially the way that things were going, where a couple kids seemed like they were pretty unhappy about some calls out on the floor. They weathered that storm, and now the Hornets, they're buzzing around. They're playing fast, active defense. And by Hornets, really, I mean Vince Carriero out there. He is just a one-man pest on the defensive end. He's got about 5-6 steals so far, a lot of deflections, and now a few rebounds to his name just in the fourth.
I'm going to say this as the nicest way, and I do mean this with respect. He's being annoying out there. He's being extremely annoying out there, and it is changing this game. Want to get into the comments section on YouTube. Brennan Lewis watching. Trey Carver, All-Ohio Hoops. This has been an All-Ohio type game for a regional championship. Adeline, imagine being D6 on Team D4. Well, cool.
Yep.
Michael, hello. Quinn Brown from Falcon Country. Let's go, Dalton. Brennan Lewis, Kirtland seems to be more talented and athletic, but take bad shots. Dalton more selfless and play really hard. Should be a good second half. That was taken at the half, but
and
very
last one,
good.
Ryan Stover says, oh, I know that stop, score, stop. If you've watched any OH Report tournament, you know. Wow. 4 for 5 from beyond the arc for Al Ferry. That's a game-changing type of night.
That's a game-changing type of shot. It's down to double digits now.
And now the human brick house out here defending on Wenger. Spinning through left hand, cupping it. It'll lead to 2 more free throws where we just saw Hignite go 1 of 2. Best case scenario here for the Bulldogs. Clock stopped. Chance to try to eat away at this deficit. You got to almost go perfect, though, down by double figures with the time score that we've got going.
They're going to have to pull a Kirtland from the semifinal. That'll help.
Bulldogs with a 1-2-1-1. Looking to trap on the sides. Here it comes. And that'll be
That's
a timeout.
Smart play.
Lucas Renfro recognized he was in not a great situation.
Worst place you could be. Right across the timeline in a corner, trapped.
Still plenty of timeouts remaining, though. Kirtland's got a couple. Still 3 in the back pocket of Huth. What are the kids saying out there in the comment section, Trav?
It's the same comments that you're reading, only much smaller on my computer screen. So if you want to go for it, go ahead. But we have over 500 watching tonight. 500 people watching a game that we picked up just, yesterday. But we had to bring this game to you. I know we've had Dalton in the past for football and basketball. We also had Kirtland as well, so we do welcome in those fans that watched us before.
Yeah, special thank yous to Weaver Commercial Contractor as well as Santmyer Companies, and of course the lady that you see on just about all the different ads here tonight, Kara Barnes, a longtime supporter of Dalton Athletics here on the OH Report. Every time I hit her line, she's the plug. She comes through. We would not be here live and free without the contributions of those 3 generous sponsors.
Now, one more thing for you as we come out of the timeout, a little bit of a game reset. Possession arrow, Dalton. Dalton's in the bonus the rest of the way. They have 3 timeouts left. Kirtland only with 2.
And that's another Baylogism. This is perfect for Dalton. A score while the clock is stopped. If they can be ultra aggressive when they get the basketball back, they can continue that trend and try to eat away at the free throw line.
Especially if they can get a quick stop and a 3 to get this back to 2 possessions.
And for Coach McGregor, how quickly are you okay with a shot coming up? As that ball's loose on the ground, Heat will going to draw the personal foul on the reach.
Only his second, but that's smart. No fouls against your team in the 4th. You only have 1. Try and get the strip, get the ball back.
Yeah, this is a good situation defensively if you're needing steals, as of course the Bulldogs do. They've still got 3 more fouls to give. You can come out here and you can pressure your butt off. You can get as physical as you want, and it doesn't really hurt you. Active ball movement, 20 seconds, fading away off the clock.
And another timeout.
Yep. Ooh. So Kirtland down to 1.
But they were able to take about 30 seconds off the clock with that.
There's a look inside of Coach McGregor's huddle. The Hornets have never, ever been to state a Final Four. It's within their grasp right now, Travis.
Yep.
So it's got to be such an exciting time for all of the Hornets fans that are here in attendance, watching out there live and free. That they're on the cusp. They're trying to break through the Bulldogs. They've been to this game 2 out of the last 3 years. Have not been able to get over the hump just yet. So for them too, this would be a big-time victory. As you see, these are the last 2 unranked teams remaining in the state of Ohio in Division 6.
I will say, though, you get a Kirtland win and a Marion local win, that might be your state semifinal. The way that they're in geography-wise, Crawford and, say, the number 4 team in the state, Monroe Central out of the OVAC, you might get that matchup that way. So we may see one of those football versus football schools. But here's some of the other brackets real quick. There's the Division 2 state bracket. Big Walnut, Westerville North, another rematch there. That'll be coming up.
We'll have that game for you guys tomorrow.
Also, River Valley, what a game last night. In overtime to move on to the regional final.
We'll have their game on Sunday against Maysville.
Columbus Academy knocking off Margaretta after Margaretta had a big run. We have 2 games going on tonight, and then you have the D7 bracket as well.
So off the inbound, Kirtland chased into the backcourt.
Oh, there's
Vince.
a steal.
And left side, the layup is pure. So Dalton, a quick exchange, and not going to allow the time to burn off the clock on the inbounds. Wise decision here to take a timeout.
No, they didn't actually. He was setting up his defense, and the referees thought it was a timeout, so the referee said, no, it's my bad, and it still allows Dalton to set up their press without taking the timeout.
That's a heady move right there. Because normally you'll have 3 or 4 seconds come off just for that inbound. So the Bulldogs a huge beneficiary, and they had the tie-up, and I think a travel, right?
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Happened right in front of us. Aiden Hurd. You're going to see it here in a second. So the ball's dual possession, but then it's 1-2 out of it.
Yeah.
So the Bulldogs down just 2 scores.
Hold the phone.
I'm picking mine up right now.
Right?
I'm checking the comments. Steve Harris says Kirtland went to the Final Four in '91. We had a media member said they have not been, but I always trust our comment section. So thank you. I know they went to the regional championship in '91. Oh, what a read here defensively by Hurd. Gets possession right back for Vince. Now DeFranco skip pass. Smart move, even though Alfieri's hit 4 threes.
You got to foul. You have to foul.
Yeah, it's just a game of hot potato now as Coy Wenger commits just the second personal. So still 2 more fouls to give for the Bulldogs. So much time coming off the clock right there. And that's the most precious asset that you have at this point for the Bulldogs, trailing by 6.
Well, they had an opportunity to get this back to 2 possessions and turned it right back over. That might have been the dagger.
Yeah, got to get a little quicker to the punch. They do here.
So Wenger and Heatwell back-to-back with their 3rd fouls.
And excuse me, the lead is 7. I thought it was 6 just a second ago.
It's been 7 on ours. Because it was a 9-point game. I said if they hit a 3, but instead they took it into the hole and hit 2. A lot going on. A lot going on, though. And there's the 4th foul.
Just 2 seconds coming off the clock, too. So if you're going to make it a free throw shooting game, you probably want to allow anybody but Carriero to catch the ball. I'd probably not guard the inbounder and just try to double him.
Coach saying face guard. He's going to go to his left and get.
Yeah, so that's best case scenario if you're the Hornets here, is you're going to get your best free throw shooter coming up to the free throw line, a senior 1,000-point scorer, and he has been magnificent. Game high 22 points and counting. Kirtland fans letting them know, just like football, and they did beat them twice.
Yes.
And they've got a pretty fun rivalry actually going on the gridiron. So these 2 communities played twice in football this last year. They have met 6 times since 2016 now. So starting to schedule each other during the regular season as well as during tournament time. They've had such great programs that inevitably, if you're trying to go anywhere in the state championships, you're running into Kirtland. But just splitting the pair here. So the lead remains 8. And a wide open shooter can't connect. That's as good a look as you're going to get for Gabe Clark.
Just off the back of the rim. And actually, Hignite didn't need to bump him from behind because Heatwell had to steal. But instead, it's going to be free throws the other end. Now, I will say, for Kirtland, they face off with Marion Local. They risk getting that told to them if things stayed chalk, because they'll take on the #1 team in the state.
And Daniel Stott's confirming for us, Kirtland did get an opportunity to go to the Final Four in '91, so this would be their 2nd trip if they're able to seal the deal. And OH Report Analytics right now have the Hornets 98.6% chance to win.
I didn't know we had that, but okay.
That's according to Georgia McFarland. She's got all the numbers.
This is true.
Now it's 99% chance. Dogs running out of chances. Ball's loose. And now it's just about book it time. Get the Sharpie out, Hornets fans. Looking to throw a cherry on top. Hurd can't collect it. Loose ball, the Dogs get it to Wenger. Up and under move, the follow by Hignite. And Dalton's going to take a timeout. They still had 3. Too little, too late, as they have been outscored here in money time, 15-7. But you gotta keep going after it. You don't know till you know, and the fat lady, haven't spotted her yet, and she hasn't sung.
She should, though. She should, though. It's
just about out of reach. This would have to be one of those Reggie Miller at the Garden type of situations to really be a backbreaker, or Jay Williams against Maryland for Duke.
We talked about Carriero, his play, but Danny Alfieri in this 4th quarter. 2 dagger threes that really extended it out and gave them the comfortable lead.
Yeah, Alfieri with those 12 points, 4 out of 5 from downtown. That's game-changing when you shoot 5 threes and you end up knocking down 80%. Flips the script.
For Dalton, though, 4 of their 5 starters, seniors this year. They have talent coming back, but just the run that this class has had the last few years has been phenomenal for them.
It's been special, man. When you look at 16-10 last year, same record that they currently have. They lose to JFK at regionals, but the previous year they beat Warren JFK for an opportunity to play in the Sweet 16. Made the Elite 8 before getting crushed by Richmond Heights a couple of seasons back.
Colonel Crawford 2 years
17
ago.
Win season, so they've had it going. As it's 0 for 2 here, and it's going to be Bulldog basketball.
But with 4.4 seconds left, we're just going to get one more shot.
It seems quite unlikely.
Now, remember, folks, we will be here for the cutting of the nets and the trophy ceremonies coming up.
Wenger pulls up. Can't knock it down, and the Hornets will buzz into the state Final Four for just the second time in their program's history. Big time fourth quarter as they outscore the Bulldogs by the margin. It's an 8-point win. Still more to come live and free though here tonight. We will have the medal presentation, the net cutting ceremony, and more, including an interview with your MVP of the night. Stay right there. The OH Report will return in just a moment.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Welcome back to Canton Memorial Fieldhouse for your post-game coverage presented by our good friend Kara Barnes over at Arrow Accounting Company in Dalton, who are your regional runners-up this year. Second time in the last 3 seasons that they've been able to bring a silver trophy back to the great city of Dalton. Another spectacular season for them, 16 victories. And they will bring out one of their seniors here, Matthew Heatwell, to get a big hug. He'll get the first medal. Corey Wenger as well, a member of that senior class. 2 really special careers. Alex Homard, a junior. He'll be brought back next year for Coach Cody. Thad Weaver, who will be next up off the bench, number 3. He's got 2 more seasons yet to come, and this is a kid that started coming on strong here the second half of the season. You saw he got plenty of minutes here tonight, and a guy that they're probably going to rely on to get a whole lot better over the offseason and take his scoring average of 2.5 way up. Carter Hignite, that's the guy that they're probably going to base a lot of the team's offense around next year. Only scored about 5 points per game this last year, but you can tell he's got the athletic talent and ability to be just like the other Hignite who just got a big hug. Brady, 6'3" senior. So much joy that he's brought to this program, been a big part of it over these last 3 seasons. And how about that big hug right there for Gabe Clark? It's one of those glue guys that Coach Baylog talks about that won't blow you away in terms of his scoring average, about 4 points per game, but he plays several minutes out there and he does a variety of different things. D'Angelo D'Alessandro, he's back as well. But Tristan Turner, Alex Hess, along with Caden Stutzman, these 3 didn't get action here tonight, but you got to have a full complement of roster out there to be able to give good looks at practice. That's what those 3 have been able to do throughout the course so far of their careers at Dalton. Ben Whitmer's back. He's a junior with some good size, 6'3". Caleb Bouse, he's got 2 more years remaining. Corbin Lehman will have another season. Number 34, he's next. And then Max Steiner, the last player to come out and receive his medal, number 52. A lot of talent still returning for Cody Huth, but a lot's going to be lost. Big senior class, a lot of veterans, and tons of wins.
And that's just how this program's built now, Brian. With the success that they've had, this is a team that it's just not a 4-year fluke. They can build on it. They can continue with it just because the coaching, the way they played, the way they've been able to put some of these players in it sometimes. This isn't the last you're going to see of the Dalton Bulldogs.
To quote the great David Sheldon, when I interviewed him before the districts, he said, "The standard is the standard, and for us, that's now getting to the regionals." It feels like that's the case now for Dalton. Once you get that first initial taste, it's exciting. Once you've done it 3 years in a row, now it's different. Now it's something that's the expectation. And for this team, regional runners-up again, there's that new boundary and hurdle that's sitting in your way to get over. At first, it was a district championship. Now for them, can we break through and get to the state Final Four? The kids that are coming back that we just dialogued, that's their new challenge. But tonight is about a team that's moving on into the Final Four just the second time, first since 1991. Travis, you were in Pampers. I was just a young lad in first grade, maybe even kindergarten. It's been a very long journey to get back to this point for Kirtland, and you got to feel good for this group. Seems like a likable bunch and just a coaching staff that knows what it takes with the scheduling that they have. Tough league, and here they are making that journey to the state Final Four.
I was 3 years old when they made it to the level they are right now, and it just translates from the football team. Honestly, this is a team that went to the state championship game. It constantly goes deep in the playoffs, and that can translate to sports. I mean, you're playing pressure situations in every sport, and that can help you out in different ways, and that's what this team had. They were almost done multiple times in the semifinal against Smithville, but they continued to fight back, finally won it in double overtime, and they pulled away in the fourth tonight.
Absorbed a really big run as well by Dalton, the longest run of the night, and were able to have a fantastic fourth quarter. So number 0, Nate Cosioli, the senior, he's moving on, as is Aiden Hurd, number 1. Ryan Kayami, a junior, he's got another year still left. Ben DeFranco as well in that junior class. Will Burt, a member of this senior class, along with Johnny Raskin, number 5. Vince Carriero had another rare night, 20 points for him. Sammy Ridgway, a sophomore. Lucas Renfro, a junior, as is Javion Ware. Danny Alfieri, how big was this dude tonight? Bigger than his shoulders.
Almost as big as a couple of touchdown runs he had during the playoffs last year. Not a couple, he had many touchdown runs in the playoffs last year. But, I mean, those threes in the fourth quarter really opened things up for them and let them play their game.
Big hug for Max Paul. Danny Schaefer, a junior next. AJ Runyon, he's got 2 more years coming, 6'4", great size. So you see some of the future. Very similar to Dalton, where a lot of these key contributors for the Hornets, they're enjoying one last ride.
Yeah.
What's fun right now for Kirtland, of course, is that they get another week of practice. Now that it's spread out, a potential for 2 more weeks together as a bunch, with the semifinals going down next weekend as Michael Doomstorff, a junior, gets his, and now the coaching staff under Coach McGregor getting their gold medals for the first time in a heck of a long time, almost 4 decades.
Yeah, and this is what we're going to see now with the expansion of the Final Four, where it's a week apart from then and the state championship game, because they could be matched up if they go by geography with a Marion local, the #1 team in the state, but they'll have a week to get ready for them. And then if they win, they get another week to get ready for whoever wins the other semifinals. So now we'll see if it kind of evens things out now. It allows you to get ready, find that little, kink in the other team's armor instead of just a couple days separation.
There's your regional champs for 2025 in the newly formed Division 6. Kirtland's about to cut down the nets. We're going to have that for you, but first we're going to take a quick commercial timeout. When we return, we'll have that, plus an interview on the floor. I'm going to catch up with Vince, talk about his game-high 23 points. I think he had 5 or 6 steals as well. Dude was unbelievable in helping continue his senior season. That's all coming up on the other side of a commercial timeout. You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free. Thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time.
We return now with our most valuable player, presented by Arrow Accounting, Vince Carriero. Awesome night tonight, buddy. I was really impressed with what you did on both sides of the floor, and you're kind of like a human tornado, just always whirling, spinning out there. So let's first talk just about the win and this group of seniors that you have, and just how satisfying it's been to get over the hump, get back to the state Final Four for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, this group's great. We've been playing with each other since we've been in 3rd grade, so we all know each other really well. We know what our strengths are and our weaknesses are. And, you know, it's just fun coming out here playing with them every night. They all play so hard and they compete every day. And, you know, it's just great to do it with this group.
And for you, this is your final run at it, your final bite at the pie, if you will, and 1,000-point score. You've accomplished a lot during your career, but this tournament run, just how much fun has it been to be a part of a double overtime game in the semifinals, and then you're tied going in the 4th quarter, and you run away with this one?
I mean, it doesn't get better than that. I mean, those games were so fun. The double overtime winner against Smithville, they were ranked 1 in the region. It's a big win. And this team, they played scrappy and tough. And it's just great to do in my final year and get, you know, as far as any Kirtland team has gone.
And I heard Coach say that, you know, you guys really prepare yourselves for moments like this. You schedule really tough during the regular season, and that your win-loss record, it's not that valuable to you during the regular season. It gets you ready for tournament time. Getting ready for teams like this, how prepared did you feel?
We play a lot of teams just like this throughout the year. I mean, we play a lot of D3, D2 teams all throughout the year, and so we compare ourselves to a really high standard when we play them. And then, I mean, we come out here, it's not as big as a jump as it might be from other teams to play smaller schools all the time. So it really prepares us well.
So you get another week with your boys. You know, the semifinals are spread out from the finals this year for the first time. So what would you say your kind of role is? Obviously on game night, we know, we saw tonight, but just in the grind of the season and trying to get prepared, what are you going to be doing actively this week?
You know, just trying to make sure my guys work hard all day at practice. You know, just don't overdo it though. Still play loose, still have fun with it, but you know, make sure we're giving everything we can every day just to get better and give ourselves the best chance.
Well, you did that here tonight. Congratulations on a big victory. I do have a parting gift for you, Vince. I got a little goodie bag for you. And then also we got a tradition here. If you want to look in the camera and just shout out anybody that's helped get you to this point in your career.
I want to thank my dad, Reeve Carrell. He's helped me the most by far.
All right, Vince, our MVP. Looks like they're waiting for you. You got to go get your piece of history, buddy.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
We're back with your post-game show presented by Arrow Accounting Company, and there's a whole lot of Kirtland fans here in the house pretty excited about what they just saw, an 8-point victory as they are cutting down the nets right now. Victory Town is Kirtland's. Here's your final stats presented by Arrow Accounting. Our Georgia McFarland has been tracking them all night long. And Miss Georgia, what do you notice? What stands out here when you break down the numbers?
Yeah, I mean, nothing.
Nothing?
I was getting there. Nothing very extreme. I thought it changed much from the first half to the second half. The turnovers, again, is what I would like to point out because 17 turnovers in a regional finals game is going to hurt you big time, and it really did to Dalton in that fourth quarter.
And for Kirtland, they did not shoot it well from beyond the arc until they needed it most. And then you see Al Ferry in the fourth quarter, back-to-back triples. The momentum of the game really seemed to flip on those couple of plays, in my opinion. How big did it feel sitting here courtside and watching those two go through?
Very huge. Kirtland knows how to take momentum and run with it. They know how to take small plays and make them big. And I think that was a big difference maker in this game. They just felt like they had the momentum and they had everything to cheer about in this fourth quarter.
And for both of these, we hear a lot about when there's a lot of success in a fall sport, it can translate over to winter. Each of these teams met in a regional championship game during football. Here they are meeting in a regional championship game in basketball. Unfortunately, if you're a Dogs fan, you've seen your team lose both of those games. But just if you can add, as a high school athlete yourself, a little bit of perspective on that and just how much winning can translate regardless of season, just the carryover from sport to sport.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, school-wide, fan base-wide, spectator-wide. When you think about those teams and the matches that you've had in these big games, then that school becomes associated with big games and whatever happened at their last match. And I think that could have been a factor for a lot of the spectators and maybe even the players at this game.
Yeah, a lot of spectators here on both sides. Saw a really good game. It was tied at 44 going into that fourth quarter, and then the 15-7 spurt by Kirtland. What would you most attribute it to? I mentioned those back-to-back threes. Did you identify anything else that kind of set the Hornets apart by the end of the night?
Yeah, I mean, Dalton was getting a lot of turnovers, a lot of foul calls, and getting some of their best players in foul trouble, and it really made the Dalton players really frustrated and kind of dug themselves a hole.
So the Hornets buzzing their way into the state Final Four as Coach grabs his little piece of history. And for the Bulldogs, put a bow on their season here. 16 wins, 11 losses, but getting to the regionals for a third consecutive season. As a young lady who played basketball, it's something that every kid probably would dream about and cherish. So it sucks right now for them anytime your season ends, but at the same time, looking back, Elite Eight, 2 out of the last 3 years, pretty cool for this Bulldog program.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot to be proud of. It sucks losing in a game like this, but they gave it their all and they did the best that they could.
And the ultimate dream and goal at the beginning of the season, as you know, you're talking about we want to go to states, right? Win our league, win a district, go to states. And right now, Kirtland, they've checked all the boxes so far. The only thing that's left to do is just get the whole enchilada and finish it. From what you saw here tonight, the collection, the makeup of talent that they have, how good of a shot do you give them as one of the Final Four teams to walk away with the big gold trophy at the end of the tournament?
I mean, they definitely play. They definitely play with a lot of confidence. They play with a lot of momentum, and they play a lot bigger teams in their season. So I think with the experience and the fan base that they have, they could take this and run with it and hopefully make it to Final Two or even get a chip.
They got some special players, a great talented senior class, and a lot of football players, as we talked about, that carry over from one sport to the next. So could just be a state championship season in basketball for a program that already has 7 on the football gridiron. That will finish up our coverage, though, here tonight at Canton Memorial Fieldhouse. This your first time in here, Georgia?
Yep.
It's a special place.
Yeah, for sure.
Just got a lot of tradition in here. They've hosted, I think, more tournament games than any other gym in the state of Ohio, and it's one of my personal favorites to always come check out just because they've maintained a lot of their old school environment and feel, and kids always love coming down here, and the courtside seats certainly help as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So I do want to thank Georgia for tracking all of our stats, not just tonight, but all season long. You have been a star intern, and we really do appreciate you, Miss McFarland.
Thank you.
So thanks for making the trip out here to Canton. All the shots that you're looking at right now, our photog was Jory Hollenbeck, Travis Berardi, your director, producer extraordinaire, also offering some color commentary. I am Brian Skoronsky, your play-by-play dude, saying so long for tonight, but it's not over with. We've got 2 live and free games coming up tomorrow. Travis heading to Bowling Green. He'll see if the Colonel Crawford Eagles can punch their ticket also into the Final Four, along with the Kirtland Hornets, and I will be at the 3rd rendition of Westerville North versus Big Walnut. The winner of that one will be in the Final Four for Division II. For our amazing sponsors here tonight, I want to say thank you to Weaver Commercial Contractors, Santmyer Companies, Inc., Arrow Accounting, Pinnacle Building Services, and Spherion Mid-Ohio. For all of them, we want to wish you a beautiful weekend. So long for tonight. We'll see you again mañana, everybody.